Hi everyone, welcome back. So I am going to do a paint with me video. So I have a kit from Happy Humble Designs. These are wood laser cut kits they're actually really fabulous. I really like them. And I picked these ones up this summer at one of their craft fairs, and they have unfinished kits. They have a lot of painted, already pre-painted stuff at their craft fairs, but you can pick up a few kits there as well. You can also check out Happy Humble Designs on Facebook and see if there's something there that you like, because I'm pretty sure that they ship in Canada. And this is a sunflowers kit. So there are 4 smallish square signs. This one is absolutely adorable. It's just the sunflower inside the frame. It says Sunny, but they all have these frames and all the pieces are cut out separate. So let me show you. So they've packed them. I'm trying to be a little bit careful here because they've packed them in the kits, wrapped up the way that they're supposed to go. And I don't want to screw this up too much, but it goes in the kit like this. So you have to glue this onto the background. And this piece goes up here. This piece sits on here. These 2 S's line up over here because it's 2 thicknesses to give it the depth that it has. And then the word sunflowers lines right up on top of this and goes right across. So there's a little piece of wood in here that needs to pop out, and a little piece in here that needs to pop out. And I think that's where this came from too. It's just a little extra piece that came out. So it goes like this. So that goes there, that goes there, and this goes here. So it says farm fresh sunflowers, stems, seeds, and oil. And that's a really cute sign for fall. I have this washi tape that I have from the washi tape shop. I dug it out of my stash. And it's got this bright yellow and blue sunflower pattern on it. And I thought, what a wonderful color combination, the yellow and the blue with this tiny little bit of tan on here. So I'm gonna go with this nice sapphire blue. And then I have 2 shades of blue, lighter colored, in case I want to do highlighting. I want to do this dark, bright yellow. I have a mustard yellow as well in chalk paint, but I've got 2, a sunny yellow, a bright yellow. I'm going to see how that works out. I've got this rich espresso metallic color that I might put on there as well. So it's all a matter of figuring out what colors you want and then just going ahead and doing them. So I know that my sunflower, I'm going to move my sunflower word over here, and I'm going to take this off, this piece right here, and I'm going to paint the center of my flower using a sponge, and I'm going to do some of this cashmere tan color, and I'm going to do some of this cinnamon brown. It's a darker brown. So I'm going to start with just a teeny tiny little bit of this tan color, and my sponge. It's really easy to paint these kits because they come apart. So you can do a whole piece in one color and you don't have to worry about staying in the lines. So I've got my tan down. Just a dot of this darker brown. Just a bit so that it's kind of modeled on there. And then I'm going to take a, oh, not that one, because I want a, this one will work. It's kind of a stiff brush. And I just gave this a shake. It is the metallic acrylic paint Decor Art in Rich Espresso. I'm just going to use it right out of the cap. And then I am going to just model this on top as well. So I'm just going to stipple this. And I'm going to let that center dry before I do the next step on that. So I'm just going to set it aside and I'm going to work on this. Now I want this to be that bright yellow. And I'm going to get a different sponge because I'll reuse the brown sponge. Remember, I've got 3 more pieces to paint. Now, I don't have to worry about the word sunflowers because remember, this piece is going to be glued on top of it. So I'm going to leave my sponge there because, of course, I'm going to use this again. And now I'm going to go back to this light tan color. And I'm going to put the tiniest little dot down here. And I'm going to go for this tiny little pointed brush, and I'm going to put some paint on it. And I'm just going to just add some highlights. I'm going to apologize in advance if my camera angle is bad because when I paint, I don't do this at my desk where I do my paper crafting because I don't have the room there for it. So I'm at my kitchen table and I don't have a light set up or anything like that here. Now this is where the blue comes in. I want my writing to be in this really bright sapphire blue. Blue and yellow is a really great color combination. And I'm going to do all of my combinations of colors the same on all of my signs. And the reason that I'm going to do that is because these are the pieces that I'll use in a fall setup on my coffee bar or just scatter around the living room with some sunflower decor. Just dabbing a little bit of that on there. So these signs, you definitely just paint them whatever color that you want. And if you're not that crafty, this is a really easy way to do a sign, because you don't have to try to cut these pieces out or anything. And these kits are really reasonably priced. So I've got sunflowers. I'm going to do seeds, oil, and stems. And then I've got fresh and farm as well to do. So make sure you do all of your words. And in this case, I want all my letters to be the same color. And I'm not particularly doing fall colors, because this is the type of a thing that you could do on your coffee bar for September. You could even do it in August. You could decorate, because sunflowers start to bloom at the end of the summer. So, yeah. Now I'm going to put a little more paint out, because I want the color to be really saturated on these. So I'm just going to hold this down, and I'm just going to do, it's almost dry. I'm just doing a second coat. And you really don't even have to know how to paint anything to do this. I've hardly picked a paintbrush up. I want my frame that goes around the top and the bottom on the outside of my circle, I want it to be black. I'm just going to give my paint a shake, and because it's such a little bit to do, I'm just going to use my paint out of the lid. And I'm just going to brush it on here. And now it all comes down to what color, if any, do I want to put on my backgrounds. And I was thinking this really pale blue. I was thinking of leaving it the natural wood. Actually, I'm going to put this piece on here. And I don't like that yellow flower doesn't pop off this background. So I think it's got to be either the light blue, and will the light blue pop the words enough, or it has to be white. Let's do it white, and if I don't like it, I can always go back over it with the light blue and give it a second coat, and that will solve my dilemma. And that definitely helps. Oh my gosh, I'm really torn. If I do the blue, I think it will look bright, nice and bright. So let's do the blue. So it was going to take a couple of coats anyway, maybe even 3 to get this done. Because the wood is very porous, so the first coat is not very opaque. I just think because blue and yellow complement each other on the color wheel, that the shades of blue and yellow will be the perfect contrast. Now I'm going to set this aside to dry for a couple of minutes before I do the third coat. And I'm going to go back to the center of this flower because this is dry now. And because we have sunflower seeds in the center of a sunflower, I'm going to take just a tiny little brush. This is the tiniest little brush that I've got. I'm going to take my black paint and using this teeny tiny little brush, I'm just gonna kind of add seeds all over the center of this. Okay, so it's time to glue this together. And this is going to go up here. I think it goes up there. Let me see. I don't think that's the one that goes up there because that overhangs a little bit too far. This must be the one that goes up there. I'm going to have to put... I saw that on there and peeled that paint off of there. I'm going to have to put this on first. So that goes on here like this. Just like that. Because you want that to line up perfectly on that S there. And you want this S to line up perfectly on there. So that's how the word has to go. And then these black these black trim pieces have to go on here. That sticks up too far that way, I think. But it doesn't go on this way either. Yes, this one goes on here like this. And you can tell it goes on there because it goes right to there. So this one has to go on here because this piece fits in like that right there. So I think I need to put my sunflowers on first. And it's harder to piece it back together again than anything else, I think. So it's not going to take much to glue this on here though. I'm using Elmer's School Glue. I'm just going to squeeze a little bit out on the wide parts of these letters, just a little bit. I'm putting some on every flower petal. And then a little bit on the white part of that. Then I'm going to very carefully turn this over and I'm going to hold this up while I line up the S, because the S is what's going to line everything else up. Doesn't take much to glue it on. And then we'll put this one on. I'm going to put as much glue on here as I think I need. There. I just want that lined up there and there as much as I can. Then I have to figure out where that black piece goes. I'm glad I went with the blue background now. Look at how that sunflower pops off of there. And when I put this across, that blue is just going to make the blue in behind it pop even more. So I've got my middle. Just a little bit of glue. It doesn't need to be a lot. And that's going to pop in there. Now I'm going to turn this around so that I can see it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the way it goes. I'm going to take my frame and just hold it on here for a minute until it grabs. Kind of lining it up around the outside here. It doesn't take very long for this wood or for this glue to grab when you're gluing these wood kits together. It's actually pretty remarkable how quick it does grab and how well it holds. I've used wood glue for this, but I mean, you don't have to. The white school glue is what we use at our paint nights, and it holds. I've never had anything come off that I glued on with the white school glue. Okay, so before I put the middle word on, I want farm fresh in here like this, and I want stems, seeds, and oil to go in here like this, and then sunflowers will go across the top like that. So let's glue this down first. And so the trick is, if you want these to grab quick enough while you're holding them, don't put a lot of glue on there. So this is what it looks like finished, and I am going to go ahead using the same color theme. I'm going to paint the other 3 signs, and then I'll come back and show you what everything looks like. I will use the exact same process, painting all my pieces and then gluing them together. So here's a close-up of them finished. Pick your own farm fresh sunflowers. I've decided to do that little inner frame. I decided to paint that yellow and then put a coat of gold over top so that the gold would shine a little more. It works nice with the yellow primer underneath it. And then this one, hello, and then just that pretty sunflower. So pretty. I had to put a little green in there because, of course, this one had a stem and leaves, but I think it suits it. It just looks gorgeous. And then this one just says sunny, and I have it on the top of my tiered tray here, so it just fits in there nicely. This is a tiny tiered tray, and that sign takes up the whole top of the tray. So pretty. And then, of course, this is the one that you saw me paint. Absolutely beautiful. I love the way that this turned out. So here are the signs on my coffee bar. This is not a traditional fall arrangement. Usually I use the pumpkins and the orange and then just add all my hints of Halloween in. But I'm going to be away this year, so I thought this would be a perfect setup for the early part of fall for September. So I still need one thing. Do you guys see that lamp? I don't have a light in this corner, so I use this lamp, and it's a tall candlestick lamp, which is just perfect for the area. But I have not been able to find a tiny shade for it, which is what I want. You know, the little shades that go on the top of a candle lamp? I don't have one of those. This was traditionally a very large shade, and I didn't want it there. So I still have to find that piece, and I look at the thrift stores every time I'm in them. I'm not going to order a lampshade for that. I would really love one of those little punched tin lampshades. I think that would be fabulous. But until I find one, that lamp stays the way it is. So I have this sign, this sign, this sign, and this one is just nestled right in my mug rack. And I think they look absolutely adorable there. So I've added in a few of those rusty orange colored sunflowers and put them in there as well. Some on the tiered tray and some up on that top shelf, just a few to give it a more fall feel. But I absolutely love the way that this has turned out. I love the blue with the yellow walls in my kitchen. Yellow is not a very popular color, but I love it. And that's what I wanted. My grandmother had yellow walls, so that's what I do. So this is a little peek of my coffee bar for fall. Very simple and very pretty to wake up to every morning. So if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Let YouTube know that you're watching. Comment and let me know what you think of these kits from Happy Humble Designs. Then go on over to their Facebook page. It's exactly what it sounds like, Happy Humble Designs. Go on over to their Facebook page, show them a little love, and see what they've got to offer. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would absolutely love if you did that before you left. Come on back and see what I'm up to next. I'll see everybody in the next video. Until then, have a really wonderful day, everyone. Bye-bye for now.